And then it hit me immediately like, wow, like coins like really that valuable. Like I used to collect cards a little while back before then. Other than like the demand for whatever player or whatever, it's like the intrinsic value is just cardboard. It breaks my heart to be like, wow, like these 150-year-old pieces just being melted away. It's just, the good thing about it is this community, it's a bunch of good people, you know, and everyone's very, you know, grassroots, old school, you know, so it's like, it's no egos, you know, it's just facts.
This is your first time actually setting up as a dealer at a show,
Exactly,
right?
first time. My name is Rudy Marquez. We're here at the Hollywood Coin Show, and I'm here to kind of sell my collection, hopefully build upon my collection, buy new things. The company is High Rise Treasures.
Okay.
We actually, we're pocket dealers, that's how we started. And our little thing is like we like to give a really nice view and energy into our show. So it's like our show is all in, you know, high-rise balconies. Hopefully we want to travel the world and give different, you know, segments in different places.
Yeah,
you know,
very cool.
Along with different varieties.
Awesome. So how did you get started in coin collecting in general? You haven't been a dealer the whole time, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, so how did you get into it?
So it actually started probably like 3-4 years ago, where I've always been like a change hoarder. You know, I've always collect change because I'm a cheapo a little bit, but I always figured, you know, it adds up, you know? So I've always had like typical change jars that people have. And I would say probably around 3.5 years ago, I got into a really particular situation and I came across like hard times, you know? So I had this whole amount of change that I was like, all right, this is a good time to use it to help, you know, cover some stuff. So as I was going through it, I didn't want to take it to like a coin star or anything like that because they, you know, they robbed. So I started, you know, filtering through myself, and then I kept noticing some really like unique coins. I didn't know anything about coins at the time. So it's to the point where it was like, what is this? You know, like coins enough where they intrigued me to go look more into like, wow, that's interesting. And there's a few coins that I was like, all right, let me check it out. So I was like,
what were some of those coins? Do you remember? Was there one that kind of stuck out to you that was like, huh, that's really interesting?
Okay, so one of them was a state quarter, because a lot of the state quarters, they have like a lot of symbolism to like what the state was and stuff. And one of them, I think it was like Missouri. There was an emblem on there that was like, how is this relating to Missouri? Like, I don't get it, you know? So I started looking, and immediately as soon as I started looking up these coins, I started getting like, I don't want to call it clickbait, but you know, start getting all these like online, oh, do you have the $10,000 coin or all this? And then it hit me immediately like, wow, like coins like really that valuable. Like, you know, I was already intrigued by them, you know, going through them, and I was like, wow. So then, you know, I guess you could say I peeled off the layers of that, and I just went deep, and then before you know it, the change wasn't even change for me. You know, I started going through the pennies, and I started realizing like, wow, like this is so more intricate than what it is. And then literally I started my collecting that day, you know. I like a quarter of the coins I had, I didn't even know any that much at that time. I didn't even like cash them because I thought I could have had something, you know. So, and sure enough, I didn't. So I just kind of went through it, and then I started collecting. I started reading more about it, and literally in all these years, I've been like a book, you know. Other than, you know, my day job, you know, I just all night I read, I study, and it's kind of one of those things. The more you get into it, the more you know you want to learn.
Yeah,
you know? So.
That's a side of it that I feel like a lot of people don't touch on. That I feel like that's most of the hobby.
Exactly.
Like is learning about the things and then implementing that knowledge into your collection.
The mint errors, those really intrigue me, you know, because seeing them, you know, very rare how they make it through the mint, and then they end up in circulation. So, and then there's a lot of really good YouTube channels as well. I just kind of started building on there, and then started the history behind it as well was really good. So just kind of like the desire for it, you know, and the rarities of it too, you know, because I used to collect cards a little while back before then, and it's just like, you know, other than like the demand for whatever player or whatever, it's like the intrinsic value is just cardboard, you know? So it's like, it motivated me to be like the back of a bone, you know, like the precious metals or whatever it is. You know?
Does it surprise you at all that Pokemon card trading has exceeded like the popularity of coin collecting?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like there are so many Pokemon collectors who, if they just knew about this, would get so much more out of it.
Oh, absolutely, because it's actually, it's almost like the same boat, but like, you know, brother and sister, you know, like very much similar. And I think a lot of the, is my opinion, I feel like a lot of people that do collect Pokemon and all that, they do it because of like the rarity and because of like the drive and the motivation to find the rarity in it. You know, not that they don't like Pokemon, but it's all about that. So if they're more aware of like the dates and like, you know, more history in a Pokemon card, you know, all the value behind it, I think a lot of them would definitely start, you know, trading both as well.
I struggle with this because like I'm on the marketing side of the coin world, and I feel like it's so easy to get into coins but I don't know how to get somebody on that pipeline quite yet. Like, I don't know what thing about a person makes them like coins. Do you have any thoughts about that?
You know, I think everyone's different when it comes down to that. I think a lot of the people that get into coins is because they had, you know, someone in the family, grandfather, they get collections passed down, and then it just starts intriguing them, you know? I feel like another portion of the people like it because of like the metals and stuff, you know, they like, you know, how it breaks down. But I think the good thing about that is that even someone getting into coins that might not know all the numismatic values and all that, if you could at least start at the basis of like, oh wow, it's silver, it's an ounce of silver, or maybe it's not a full ounce, but it's this, and you could start gold, and then you can funnel it down from the years, and you could really build upon that, you know? So I think, you know, it's a you know, two birds with one stone type of thing.
For sure. So is everything in your booth stuff that you personally have collected over the last couple of years? Like, this is your first time actually setting up as a dealer at a show,
Exactly,
right?
first time. I thought it was time because I got to the point where it's like, I visit a lot of them, I buy, I sell, and now it's like, might as well showcase what I've been, you know, collecting.
Right.
Everything here I bought, you know, literally almost one by one. You know, some of the stuff has been in kind of groups, you know, in bulk, but not really. Because I always have this saying, and even like on our Whatnot channel, like we wouldn't sell something that we wouldn't collect ourselves. You know, we're not just trying to just sell it for business. You know, it's like, it's easier to sell something that you liked and you love, and you know, it makes sense.
You can be passionate about it.
Exactly. So that's kind of like where we're at, and yeah, pretty much everything has just been, you know, self-chosen, you know, and, you know, picked along the way.
Yeah, that's so sick. So how has your first day being a coin dealer been?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was good. I mean, not that I didn't expect it to be busy, but it was much busier than I thought.
I was a little surprised when I walked in here how many people were here.
Yeah.
I was like, you go to the bigger coin shows, and maybe it's just because there's so much space, it feels really empty.
Yeah, more aired out a little bit, yeah.
I came in here and I was like, whoa, there's people like coins?
Wow, it's getting popular again. Yeah, no, for sure. No, I was shocked. You know, I've been to a few shows too, so it's like, yeah, I was actually impressed. You know, and even for me, like, you know, a lot of people know each other here, so for me it was kind of new. So then a lot of people showing love, and it's just, the good thing about it is this community, it's a bunch of good people, you know, and everyone's very like humble, and they're very like, you know, grassroots, old school, you know, so it's like, it's no egos, you know, it's just facts.
Gotten like any help from the other dealers around here? Like, have they been helpful with your setup and showing you the ropes and stuff?
Absolutely, yeah, because in our table, like, it's not all just graded stuff. We have some Roths coins, we have some circulated sets, uncirculated sets, and then as you see, we even have like these big tubs over here that are like kind of a mix of world coins. So we have a little bit for everyone, you know. So that's what we're trying to go for, you know. So
very cool. Well, I asked you to bring out 3 of your favorite coins from the booth. They don't need to be in any particular order, but maybe we can start with your least favorite one. Okay. And we go through to your favorite one. What do we got here?
Okay, so I guess you could say my least favorite out of the 3 would be this 8 reales, El Cazador. It's a shipwreck.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, really cool. Obviously, I still love it, but out of the 3, it is my least favorite. I just love it for the fact that, you know, this has a lot of history, especially with the Louisiana Purchase. You know how they sent the boats over, and you know, ended up sinking, and so just imagine to think, you know, this was traveling the Atlantic hundreds of years ago. You know?
Could you explain the story for someone who doesn't know?
I know the Spanish kind of controlled the Louisiana territory at one point, but they're starting to get low on cash and low on money, you know, for the colonies. So, you know, as what I was told, you know, they sent some ships over, kind of like in an emergency, to replenish the colonies. You know, I don't know exactly how many or didn't, but I know this was part of one of the ships that didn't make it. Sure enough, 200-300 years later, you know, they dug them up, and they brought them up. So just to think that, imagine if the ship would have made it, you know, the U.S. might be completely different United States today. Just that one little incident, you know.
I guess they needed the money because of this wreck.
Exactly.
Wild. You know, the Spanish really had a bad habit of putting way too much money on a ship, on a wooden ship in the middle of the Atlantic.
Crazy, and some of us are reaping the benefits now. You know.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, awesome, very cool. What's number 2?
Number 2 would say it's a 1915 Mexico 10 cents, a Chihuahua. I love it because I've always loved pennies, and I got into pennies initially. In my background, my family is from Mexico, so I have like a little personal touch with that.
Sure.
And they're from the Chihuahua district of state of Mexico as well. And it's just, I love in the front.
Yeah, the sun rays and the freedom cap, I think that is, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Oh man, what's that called? Phrygian cap.
Phrygian cap.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Phrygian
yeah,
cap.
you're teaching me that one right now. Yeah.
That's the piece of iconography that's on a lot of coins. You'll notice them on like cents. The Lady Liberty holding the hat on the stick.
Some of the 8 reals I think have them too.
Yeah. It was like it was a hat that they would wear in ancient Rome if you were a freed slave.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it was like a symbol of freedom.
And
so you see it across a lot of coins.
That's exactly one of the reasons why I love numismatics too, because I'm still talking to 80-year-olds that are still learning every day. Like there's so much, unless you're like a historian to say I know majority of all this, you're still learning every day.
This is anthropology at a certain extent. Like it's an active scientific study of this stuff. This is just one aspect of a much bigger scientific world of archaeology and anthropology.
Absolutely.
It's awesome that we get to sit here and look at this stuff, and it's like
100%
preserved like this.
Yeah. How many people have held that? How many people aren't with us anymore that would use it to spy things? You know,
exactly.
Like, it's amazing.
It's crazy. I don't know why this isn't more popular.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Well, maybe it's better for us for now because we're ahead of the game. You know.
Yeah. We're gonna be looking at $180 silver pretty soon.
Yeah,
so,
I totally agree with you.
All right, so our last one. This one's like a quintessential collector piece. If you're building any kind of United States type set,
absolutely,
you need one of these.
Absolutely.
Show us what we got here.
Okay, so we have the 1909. It's MS64 in red, VDB. It's one of my favorites because I started in the pennies. That was one of the biggest drivers that got me in as well. But not only that, but that it's such a classic piece. It's a piece that you'll find from the advertisements of any numismatic collections. It's one of the most notable pieces in the United States. So I just love it because like you mentioned, I think anyone who's a serious collector has to have at least one of those in their collection.
Right, and then obviously this is the first year issue.
Exactly.
And these were just incredibly popular immediately once they came out.
Absolutely.
But that's why the VDB is such a big deal, because everybody was upset that the artist would put his name on the same coin as Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
It's the first coin with a president on it. Like, we're enshrining him in history, and you're going to put a billboard on it? Like, come on. And then, like, 4 or 5 years later, they put the initials back on it anyway.
Yeah, that's the most classic in my opinion.
Yeah. Beautiful. Is there any highlight from this show that you've had? Like any one event that stands out to you? A good sale? Maybe a piece that you didn't want to let go of and you sold today?
It's funny because my 2 favorite Libertads that I had were the first coins I sold today. So it was kind of ironic. I was like, I wasn't expecting, and one of them was the first year, So it was like, it was good. We made a good deal, but it was just funny. Like my 2 favorites, it was like Right.
It
was it was cool. 2 favorite Libertads. So
at least that means you picked well. You have good taste.
Exactly. And at least got them at a good price where you still make a little bit on top.
Right. And the Libertads are really popular right now. I don't know. Do you know why that is? Like, is there? I feel like I've heard stuff about a shortage. Like people can't get them. Or...
I heard something between that, and I think it's just like I think it's in cycles, and I think like Mexican coins in general are just kind of popular right now. I wish I knew.
Yeah. I feel like we're moving towards a direction where U.S. numismatics isn't taking a back seat, but we're seeing a lot more world coins pop up. We just had the massive Pei family collection with a bunch of Chinese rarities. You have Chinese dollars in your booth.
Exactly. I just started collecting these, even the Japanese, like the 50 cent. I just started collecting them because I've been reading a lot. I've been seeing like the demand, and I think that's going to be one of the future, types of coins that's going to really start picking up.
Coin grading and coin collecting, the way that the United States does it is so singular to the United States. I'd argue there's probably maybe 10% of the coins that are worth grading aren't graded and still raw. All the rest of them have been slabbed by this point. And I think it's picking up more and more in the other countries. I mean,
absolutely. Like even these pieces you see here, these are all sucres from Peru, and these are all from 1890, 1895s. And I have a couple of them that are pretty much in mint state, so we're going to be grading those very soon as well.
Nice. The biggest part about this for me is that it's not just like we're collecting little things of silver, we're not just like investing in silver, we're not just making a coin collection. There's a level of, this is a piece that if I did not take care of this and put it in a slab and make sure it's safe, it would not exist anymore.
Absolutely.
And like, it's our job as collectors and as dealers to make sure they go to the right homes, they're taken care of, and get passed on to the next generation. In hopefully the condition that we found it in.
Exactly. And the fact that we're finding some of these coins in those conditions, it's almost a blessing in itself, because it's like where was that coin for so long that it stayed in that condition and it made it to our hands that can actually appreciate it. Because I'm sure a lot of these are getting melted down right now, are getting just thrown. It's amazing what's going on.
Yeah. A lot of it's jewelry, so that's fair, but definitely lots of 90% gold just being ripped out and
for sure. Like for us, like we have a lot of different networks that we get our coins from, but even one of the networks we have is like we even deal with some pawn shops down here, you know, and they call us and we try getting a lot of the stuff they have, but at some points, we can only take so much, especially now that people are selling back, and they're sending a lot of old gold coinage to the refineries just to melt them. And it's like, to them it doesn't mean anything, but to me, I hear it and I wish I had all the money in the bank to buy it all, but it's like, it breaks my heart to be like, wow, like these 150-year-old pieces just being melted away. It's
like
incredible.
you don't realize how much that gold coin would have meant to somebody back then. Like that was your year's worth of savings, kind of. Like you put that away and that's it.
Exactly.
Like,
you put it in the tree trunk
you
or
go,
whatever.
You go take that one coin to go buy all the lumber for your first house or something, or to fund your trip across the Oregon Trail. Like,
absolutely. It's great. What I find amazing is being down in South Florida too, and me and my girls stay kind of like near where Art Basel is and all that shit. See how big art has gotten, between the collectors, traders, all the new generation of people, artists coming in and everything. When it's like what we're working with in itself is art, I look at it, we're art, that we're just slabbing art, or we're buying and trading art, which has way more intrinsic value, A, but B, it's like has way more history in a lot of ways, So it's like I'm fathomed that we're not bigger than what we are. Coins isn't bigger, but I feel like it's going to catch up. I'm really
I think we're right on the cusp of like a big breakthrough where the Pokémon markets really haven't been doing what they did through COVID.
Yeah.
But coins has stayed very consistent over the last 7 years from what I've heard.
One thing we're hearing too, and some of the people we deal with down south, is like, back in the day, gold, for the younger generation, gold was always looked at as like an old man thing, gold. But a lot of younger people, and not just because it's going up in value, but a lot of younger people are looking at it more as like a cool thing, it's starting to become cool again, because crypto in a lot of different ways, people are, Bitcoin is representation of gold, some people have some kind of like relation. I'm not the biggest crypto person, but it's like, I think it's inevitable. I think there's no way that it's not going to come around.
I don't know if you saw Don Kagan, he's been doing the fractionalized ownership of certain pieces. So he did the $1,000 bill or the $10,000 bill, and let people buy like a third of it or something, or like a 15th of it.
100%.
And then he's doing the pine tree shilling right now. I think that might be the bridge to where like you could just buy a part of a double eagle, and then whenever that firm sells the double eagle, you get a percentage of that profit.
That could be.
That would be a good way to bring the crypto bros over. Is there any other things you want to mention, say, or plug before we wrap things up?
No, I just, I want to say I appreciate the time. I watch your videos. I think you're awesome, and I think you're bringing great light to the numismatic game. Me, I'm a rookie. I know more than the average, but I'm still a rookie. And at the end of the day, I can't imagine why this is not going to get much bigger. Because it's like it's addicting in a good way. It's a good addiction.
It's addicting in a good way. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's where we're at. And I'm excited to go further into it, and hopefully, there's no coin shops in Miami. I'm very south and kind of like northern Miami, but maybe help bring that. Help bring something down more in the future.
You guys would get a nice top floor penthouse view over the whole city.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be sick. I would love a coin shop at the top of a building.
That'd be awesome. That'd be dope. That's what we're going for.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate
it was fantastic.